Okay, last lane. I gotta go through mid lane, and we're gonna be looking at Austin. I guess I can introduce myself again. I am Jason, your beloved esports manager, director, whatever, for App State. One of two. Tanner's the other one, but I do all the league. So I've already gone over the mid lane, or they started the game like 4 times, so not doing it again. Just gonna go ahead and jump right into the actual gameplay. So watch through it. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it because I said it before, but I don't know if you watched it. Like standing here, you get nothing. There's no value from standing here. But if you're gonna stand in the mid lane, you need to stand here or up here. And because there's a blitzcrank, I think it's totally acceptable to stand this far up. Like if there's a blitzcrank or something that can catch you, it's fine. But then this gives you sight of potentially seeing their mid laner, or seeing like if you stand here at least, you can see like they can't sneak through here, which makes it safer for your AD carry to stand further up. Because they only need to watch out if they come through here, because if your support is standing here, they can't come through there. So that's kind of like the trifecta. Like you stand here, AD carry stands here, or like maybe even further up, like right here, and the support stands over here. Then like there's no sneaking through, unless they like go through bot lane, like do some sneaky shit through there. But like that's what I mean. All right, you didn't skill an ability. I think the start's fine. Your runes, 35 ability power is probably 15. I think it's fine. I resist. I can't really see that much information, like runes and stuff, but I'm not looking at those right now. Maybe another video. Alright. Slow it down. Alright, first wave. Skilled up. Death Ray, that's fine. The creeps kind of spread really weird. I assume one of you guys auto-attacked it first. You're auto-attacking like at the same rate as her. That's good. You take a hit. It's not the end of the world. One way that you can kind of prevent that is if you're not going to use the death ray to try to push hard, you can go for the siphon, and then you can, like when she, right there, you could have run towards her and perhaps gotten the shield off and like all the auto attack. You could have traded more evenly. You're just looking to hit the creeps. If you use the laser, you should try to like split it and hit both of them, which I think you tried to do, but that's just like something to keep in mind. You want double threat. I know I've been focusing a lot on you guys needing CS, which is very important, but also, like I gave you the guide thing, you need to keep in mind when your creeps are dying as well, and also like the enemy's positioning. And, like it's not easy. I'm not trying to like imply that it's easy in any way, but it takes a lot of practice to be able to do that. But like when you see her going for an auto attack on a creep, that's an opportunity for you to death ray or to go for a siphon or things like that, and that's just like when she is open. That's when you're gonna have the most pressure. Right here, she's gonna go for the auto attack, and you immediately go for that. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but that was really good. And then you hit her with the laser. So that was a good trade because you were looking at that. Well, I have to hope that you were. But even if you weren't, that was the effect that it had, even like just on accident. So imagine if you can leverage that. It has a name. I don't remember. And then it's 3 minutes into the game. 3 minutes is generally when you should look for the jungler. At like 250, 240 to 3 minutes is when the junglers will finish their clear. Slower jungle is like 310 or 320, but it depends on the game. Nidalee's a really quick jungler. You should be looking for them to gank. And even though you're pretty far back in the lane, Nidalee is one of the best people to gank from behind. That's what she's going to do right here. I will cut it, so like you don't have sight on her, so that's nothing you're doing wrong. But you do have a trinket up, and okay, no, what? Sorry, I was looking at top line. My mistake. I can't see the cooldown on that trinket, so I'm not sure where you put it. Wherever you put it, I would not really ward too much before like 230 or 240, because they're just not usually that effective. Because the jungler is probably not going to come that early unless it's something crazy like a Pantheon, or it will be an anomaly if that happens. And so you just like that early ward did nothing for you, and then it's not up now when you need it. It's just come up, but you just would have already had one, and then you would have been able to chain them together for more period, for a longer period of safety. Alright. So you lasted under the tower. You should have used there's power siphon there. Okay. Just some general things for last sitting under the tower. Let's look at that. You get this one? This one you should have auto attacked it once already, and then you should have Spirit's power siphoned it. Damn it. Forgot. I tunnel visioned the creep. Yeah. This one gets low. This one you either power siphon it straight out, or you auto attack power siphon, and then it's you lasered to get 2 creeps, and then you get a 3rd creep, but then you're gonna miss 3 creeps. I would argue that maybe you should auto attack that one twice, and then like power siphon another one, and you would have netted more creeps. There's a lot of different ways to last hit under the tower, but just don't be afraid to use abilities to last hit, especially under tower. It makes it a lot easier. I'm sorry if the camera's jerky, like, I guess I can do this drag around, but I can't, it doesn't lock my mouse to the screen, so I can't use my normal. Yeah. You got really passive right there, and you just let her fight you. If she's running up, like, and you just want to get some creeps right here, you should just drop your zone, gravity field, and then, like, she can't run at you like that. But instead, you just let her come and trade on you for essentially no retaliation. Like, sure, you hit her with the abilities, but not really any retaliation. And you have wards up. You have ward off cooldown, but they're not down. And Nidalee didn't show before, but I don't know. It's hard to say exactly where you should have warded, but this, like, when you're at a disadvantage, warding here, and like if when you're like pushing or something, ward here, warding here, warding this spot's pretty good because it gives you sight of over here and this route and this path. Like this spot, like right here, is pretty good. And then like this spot, so you ward here later in the game. But if you don't really know where to ward, this is a pretty good one, and this is a pretty good one. Just like over the wall, so you don't have to walk around. Especially against the Nidalee, who can do that, where they hit you with a spear and then only need to get here and they jump you. Die from it. I don't know. I don't see a lot of Nidalee in solo queue jungle, so maybe you're not used to playing against that, but her threat range is very large, even though she is a short range. Like, even though when she's in Cougar, she's kind of like, she's melee, she's a very long range person. Speed up, just waiting for you to get. What's a V-bot? Are you in Double Doran's ring? Biscuit? And boots. Okay. I don't play Victor very much, but if you're trying, I think what you might be doing here is trying to make it so that you get some extra AP and ability and health, so that you can push the wave and just be safe. But what I would consider in that situation is if like you're only trying to be safe and farm, is going for a Rod of Ages, because that it will scale up and keep you safe. Just like if you're nervous about the matchup, I think that's pretty much always a valid item. If you can get it before like 20 minutes. Okay. You should have lasered that creep. Like, you're full mana. I think and you have double Doran's ring, so your mana regen's big. Should have lasered right there. You waited. That would give you all the creeps and a potential to hit her. I think at this point in the lane you're kind of scared of her. You've kind of been playing scared the whole time, so you might be worried about this matchup in general. And while she is strong, I think there's definitely reason. Alright, I meant like you ward over there. You don't always have to go for the laser across the whole creep. Sometimes you can just laser one, and it's not really a bad thing. Okay. Right here. Yeah, you can just laser like that one creep, and then you would have been able to last hit the other two with your other abilities. Alright, right here. go in for this. Let's check your cooldowns. Run cooldown here. You run up to use the like last hit with your auto attack. But I think you tunnel visioned on this creep and you didn't realize how close she had gotten. Fast forward it. I'll go real slow here. Right, you're still on cooldown for laser, and you want to get this creep. But you don't respect how close she's gotten. Right here, you drop stun. Instead, you use power siphon. You should have dropped stun immediately as you realize that she's gotten too close, and you're like, oh, I fucked up. You drop stun, and then you make her have to move instead of having to come up. And then you immediately run up and fight her, and you don't respect how much damage she has. And I don't think you were also cognizant of level 6, because even if she didn't, like, you were more health, she hit level 6 before you, she can now kill you. And I think in general, like, this is why I want you guys to practice farming in custom games, because then you're more comfortable with like what farming is going on. And so you can kind of do it passively, and you can keep more attention on her, or like on looking at bot lane, or bots. It's a good way to practice, just like, because you're not really that far behind in farm, like Jack is, but like the zoning power of Syndra is very powerful, especially at it's very large, especially at level 6. And, I don't know that you're cognizant of when you guys are going to hit level 6. You just kind of need to keep track of that. Okay, you've come back to lane, farming. Don't know where Syndra is. I don't know if you communicated that to your team or not. I would recommend, instead of lasering and then like, well, I guess cooldown's not that long, but you can auto attack these. Like, you auto attack one twice, power siphon, or power siphon, then auto attack the other one, and then you could laser through and kill all 3 of those. And then you like, or you could do the same thing to the front creeps, and that just lets you secure more of the creeps. It makes it easier for you to farm. Right. If she had turned around on you right there, immediately drop your stun. I think you're too wary to drop the stun. Like, while it is a long cooldown, right? Okay, no, start dropping the stun. I don't know, you aren't dropping it for some reason. You don't need to be afraid of it. It's only 65 mana. It's just like if you're Vigar, like, you don't fight without dropping the stun. It's just unreasonable. Always drop stun. Of course, not always, but when you're fighting, drop stun. Even if you don't think it's going to hit, it provides more power than you think it does. Just like the zone of it. Or you could use it to like keep them from fighting you. This is just farming. I already talked about that. It's good, you hit her with the laser. Always be looking for the double threat. It's like if, I can't think of another champion, but it's, or Jarvan or Cho'Gath. Like for Jarvan Q in lane, you want to like last hit with a creep and hit the other person. You didn't drop stun. You drop stun, you make her have to run instead of casting an ability, or you get your ulti off. I know your ulti's not up, but like that's just an example. And then also, your half health, if she catches you with another ball, you're dead. Because she has ignite and ulti. So let's see if that happens. Just a prediction. I haven't really watched your lane in any other games. You're finally putting that pink ward down. No, wait. No, I think that's the pink ward you bought a while back. I'm not gonna go back and look, but okay. You're still not dropping your stun. Like, I don't understand. Like, you're just not using it. I don't know if you're just afraid or like you leveled it up, right? Leveled up. I don't know. You gotta use it. Because you almost killed the Nidalee. I think that could have been a double kill. You're just like handicapping yourself by not using it. Let's continue. And I said this, but I'm not attacking you personally. I don't want to like sound mean, but I'm not gonna lie to you about it. And I feel like the best way for me to help you is to just point out the things that I see as I see them, and not try to like sugarcoat it for you. But like also everything I say it's not like the gospel. It's like always think about it logically, and if it doesn't make sense, be like, Jason, this doesn't make sense, I hate you. That's fine. It's totally acceptable. This ward is good, like this. This was that was the jungler, John. Again, you didn't use stun. You stun right here, and she like either she runs or she has to like turn the fight. I think if you use stun, you'll be a much better Victor. And I know you like Victor. I've seen it in the past. We're just waiting for you to res. Back to the fight. Which Hextech core is this? I think this is the one that amplifies E. That's fine. I think maybe you like instead of going double Dorans, you should have gone for some cooldown. Because the best way when you're behind is just to clear the wave as much as you can. And also that makes it easier for you last hit in town. Okay. There wasn't really anything you could have done there except for just like staying further back. And you don't have a ward up, but just like throw E's from as far away as possible and don't come up unless you absolutely have to. Like get the experience, of course, like use some long range E's, but you have double Doran's ring, and so you have the mana regen to like be able to throw those out, throw out the abilities in order to farm. I already talked to him about this. This was a mistake. Right, you get here and you start farming. Right, look at the gold difference. You're just doubling your gold. That's really bad. And a lot of it is in farm. Just like I've put a lot of like focus on you guys for learning how to farm better, but it's also like I gave you that guide thing to like help you. It's not just farming alone in a lane. You need to be able to like farm with pressure on you. It's important. And, like you also need to keep track of like where your creeps like health is, so you know when they're going to be last sitting, and like you can manipulate that. It takes a lot of work. That's why I've been like putting it on you guys to like just practice it. And it's something you can practice alone, which is valuable in League because there is no sandbox mode. Alright, I talked about it before, but like this roam, you guys don't accomplish anything, and you don't have like a goal. It doesn't look like. Like you think about diving, but then you're like absolutely not. And that's good because you would have died because Nidalee's there. Look, she's right there. But then you come and you push this wave, and you don't even try to push the tower. You just like run over here, and you're like, oh, let's try to catch Syndra. But like the only way that would have worked is if your bot lane stays here, and then as you like push the lane, and then you immediately go group up with your Kha'Zix and try to stop the Syndra. Instead, you guys run back over here, which is warded right there, and you saw them put it down just like a second ago. I think it would have been better for you to either try to get a few hits on this, go take blue buff, or like go take Raptors to try to catch up. Just like your roam down here, you guys didn't have a clear goal, and so you ended up doing nothing. Also against Syndra, you should consider using Barrier or Cleanse rather than Ghost. Because Ghost just, it's not very, like it doesn't really do much. In a fight, like they have so many slows, like Ghost isn't going to do all that much for you. You just took a dangerous route. You didn't have any vision. That's kind of a result of like all the like the ganks and stuff from the early game. This is a result of that. And you could have taken that blue instead of roaming bottom. Fine. You guys definitely could not have fought them. You are so like 3,500 gold down. Jack is pretty much same. You guys, like the two solo lanes, make up pretty much all of the gold difference, which is not good. Clear this wave really quickly. That's good. You should take raptors then, or like just take camps. Because you're not going to catch that rumble. You went to farm top. I guess that's okay. It's like always be looking to get farm where you can. Built. Be crystal? What are you building? Melting guys? I don't know what you're building. Rylai's? Maybe you're building Rylai. Okay, this fight, I already talked to them about it and the other things that are specific to their roles, because I don't think it's your fault. They went in way too early. They went in, they engaged when you were like here, and you're just, that's too far away. It's not your fault. Alright. Still, your stun is not being used. Unacceptable. Like, you have the perfect hex score, you even upgraded it for this, but you did not place it when they're all in a group. You drop that hex score and you ult. Like, alright, let's see if you do that. Alright, you drop it when there's only one person there. You could have had 4 people in it, instead you only have 1. You still have not used your ulti. Drop your ult on him, he's half health, or like, he's almost dead. Alright, finally you drop it. I think maybe you've been flustered at this point by the game, which is affecting your play. Because you should have turned around and kept fighting the rumble with your teammate, because these two are the, like, 2 of the kitiest peoples in the game. And so that is a mistake in this fight. Because if you guys were together, I think you might have been able to kill this rumble. And they probably would have kept running. Alright, you get the kill, but like, you burned your flash, and it was mainly because he was cocky. I don't think that, like, that was more him being bad. And again, I don't want to be mean, but just like, that's the fact of it. He should not have tried to fight you. He like threw auto attacks in there and stuff. He could have just kept running. It's foolish.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Okay. Yeah, keep using your abilities. That's I think you could have used them sooner to like just clear away faster. Go take raptors and like rotate bottom. You just want as much gold as you can possibly get as fast as you can get it. Is your goal. Alright, you lead off with a stun. That's good. Oh dear. Whoops. Push up the camera. See what you buy. Yeah, you're absolutely going Rylai's. I think you should have considered getting lucidity boots for the extra cooldown reduction. Because as it stands, you have just cooldown. You have 6.12, so you probably have like scaling 10%. But like, if you this path was super dangerous. See how that pays off for you. Because like, if they're not in the lane, you can figure they're over here. Then you even put a ward down, like you saw them later. Like, you did that, and then you had to walk all the way back around, because you took that super dangerous path. And you could have cleared these creeps, if you hesitated. I would have used that sooner. I just think you need to be more confident. And I don't mean confident as in just, like, blatantly aggressive, but just, like, don't be indecisive. Okay, we're just gonna wait for you to close. Your entire goal here was to delay them so that like you can stall the game out, and so just like clear waves over and over. That's what Victor is good at. And then if they try to come up, like you put a gravity field here, and that's like splits the whole fight between these 2 spots. And so I think you were trying to think like we have to fight them and win, or like you guys as a team maybe, or you thought maybe I can get poke and get away with it, but they're way better at poke than you are, and Syndra is an assassin. So. Just like the goal in that situation is to stop them from taking the turret as long as possible. And I think you were thinking of how can I kill them. Alright, you're still doing really good damage. That's awesome. Stretch. This is fast forward, there's nothing happening. Just farming. I think maybe instead of using laser and then a bunch of like power siphons, just laser twice. I think it's less cumulative mana. 110. Yeah, you use a laser twice for 220, but like you laser and then like siphon 4 times. This fight, they just fucked up. But still, you are not placing gravity field. Your gravity field is still up. You see the Syndra behind you, you gravity field here, and maybe you can get away. Alright, you gravity field here, finally. Just, you're very cautious with it, and you just should drop it. Because a lot of times you just end up not using it. Yeah. Then you recall because you have to. The other thing you could have done would be to, God, it's so, the camera's so slow for some reason. You just go bottom, and you farm that. And then back, but that would maybe have been too greedy. Alright, that's good. You finally use gravity field. You should have put it over here though, because her, like, if once 2 people come up, she's not going to keep fighting. She's going to start running. So you don't want to put it like here. You want to put it like on her escape path, which is over here. Alright, right here you need to back up. Alright, John comes and they start running, so you're fine. But if they come to pressure that tower, you stay as far away as possible, you drop your gravity field and you drop lasers. If you have to, drop ulti, but your entire goal is to keep this turret alive. Just stall the game. So at this point you guys are far behind, and the only way you win is the game drags out and you catch up. Or like it evens out. Alright, this path, you guys have no wards. You guys are fighting into no sight, which this is clearly Jack's choice here. I would have fought this Ezreal. You drop gravity field here, and then just like shoot the hell out of him, and he would have died. It's like you're still not dropping gravity field. Let's see. Let's watch this fight. See how long it takes you to drop it. You could have, your 2 options right here, you could have put on Ezreal, made him jump away sooner, or you could have put it on Syndra while she was in Zonios. Alright, still no. This is a perfect spot for it. It's ideal, because they have to run through it when they jump over. Alright, see, it would have hit both of them if you put it down. And it might have stopped him from casting his Flame Spitter. Because he would have had to Zonias or die. Yeah. I think properly placing these gravity fields is going to make you a far better player. And this isn't you, so we're not going to look at it. And I remember this bit. Alright, finally you're taking Raptors. I think this is like the 2nd time I've seen that. Alright, perfect. Your team just like runs into this blind area and starts fighting, which is like, and then you come pretty quickly. That's fine. There wasn't really a need to control field that. Like gravity field here, that's good. But you also have your trinket up. You should have trinketed over this wall in addition to your gravity field, because this is a giant dark spot. This whole fight, none of you put down any wards, which is a huge mistake. It's huge. You guys like, you fight in dark a lot. And right, finally you put the ward down. And it's like, it's something you should be doing. When you fight, just drop wards. Just drop them all the time. You were trying to hit Braum with that laser, but like, I think maybe keeping the creep wave was more important. Alright, here you guys take those. There should be wards over here because they have a Nilly. Or, see the Nilly. Gravity field, this is right. Either here or over here. Like further back past the turret. And then just take the tower. And then there's a big misunderstanding here. Oh no, not here. This is later on. But, you guys all run away and recall. That's fine. Alright, what do you buy? Okay, you spent about 1200 gold. I think your back was okay, because everybody else backed as well, except for Mikey. I already talked about it before, but just like so you hear it in case you don't watch those. Jack teleported here. He should have teleported over here or like somewhere over here, so you guys also got the benefit of the move speed. Because as it is, it's just him, and even though you guys do catch up, I think it would have been better. Because it also provides a united front in case something bad happens. Because you are fighting into darkness on this side as well. You don't see anybody, even though you did see the Ezreal and you saw that middle. Like in the end, it's gonna be fine, but it's not a good habit to have. Alright, you used the control field under the Zonias. That was good. If you know that they're going to Zonias though, try to put it so most of the field's on this side of them. So then like they have to run this way, which is dangerous if they want to get out of it. Or if they flash, that might still catch them. That's just something to think about. And then Bolton like does a huge mistake here, and I'm not going to go over it because it's not your job. But... Alright, you guys, though, I will say, as soon as like Bolton's dead, you guys either needed to be a united front and come back for him, or you needed to drop his ass and leave. And because Mikey is already so far away, you guys should have made the call to leave. Mikey used get excited like after he killed the turret, and he just got the fuck out. And so right here, you like drop control, like drop gravity field, not here. You want to drop it here for these two people. I guess this is okay. It's not that bad. And then you just want to get the fuck out. You guys keep turning around here to just like try to just tink them. Okay, you stop walking there. Okay, you stop walking there. Okay, you finally flash. Like, and it's just so many resources wasted because you guys were indecisive. And then over here, there's another thing that happens. Alright, that's good. You killed her for free. That was awesome. But then right here, you and Mikey, like Mikey makes them, I think it's Mikey's fault, to be honest. But you kind of like follow him in. Mikey decides to run up at them, throw these, and try to go for Ezreal. And then you like do the same thing on Nidalee. And there's no way you guys stop them from getting this inhibitor. If anything, Mikey should have dropped claptraps here or here, and then just auto attack from a distance. And you should have just threw lasers and gravity fields and your ulti to just like try to zone them off or hurt them so you can kill them afterwards. But as it is, you both die, and instead of being a 4v3, it's and like a chase, it's a 2v3 and no chase, and they get a dragon. Your build is still fine, I think. Looks like you're going death cap. Maybe more cooldown would be better, but Victor does a lot of damage, and his cooldowns aren't that long, so it's not that bad. And this was a huge mistake from those guys. I don't know if you were part of that. It's just you guys don't do Baron fast enough without Jinx. You're kiting these, you're kiting these. It's fine, just get as much gold as you can. Okay. You guys, they start fighting with you in the base. And like, it's not like you weren't there for a long time. Alright, I'm just gonna let this play and then I'll go through it. This is mainly a case of the team being split. Go back. So they're all over here and you're clearing the base for super minions, and then you start running up immediately because like clearly you guys are trying to go in. I think Jack is calling it or Mikey's calling it, one of the two. And then, but wait, you guys, 2 of you come from over here, and then 3 of you come from over here, and like Jack actually runs past them and over to this side. And so then you still run over here into this spot. No vision, like there's no vision in this entire, in any of these bushes, and you're running at these guys. If anything, what you can do is run to this bush, gravity field, or just like gravity field, like just gravity field something, and just throw stuff from a distance. You don't have to get that close without sight. And that's why it's so dangerous to fight into an area that's dark. You also have your trinket up, and you aren't dropping any wards. It's, like I said, when you fight, you need to drop wards. And then that's pretty much it for this fight. Like you just, the team was split, and then you kind of you ran into an area with darkness, and like you just didn't think about it. I don't think you didn't think about like where the center would be. Your best bet probably would have been to gravity field here and then just like drop your ulti and damage, unless you wanted to try to wait for the AD carries and stuff to show up, and then that's the end of the game. I think the biggest thing for you, for especially on Victor, just drop gravity fields more often and use your trinkets in fights, and maybe consider getting more cooldown reduction. I'm not sure about that though. Other than that, you need to be more comfortable with farming because it looks like you're stressing about it in game, and it needs to kind of just like be a natural thing. That's why like practicing it is so important. All right, my final time watching this replay. I'm not gonna call it stupid because it's important, but I'm just a little annoyed watching it so many times. The end of the game is 11,000 to 15,000, like almost 16,000. So you were almost 6,000 gold underneath. It's not good. Need to work on that. Alright, that's it for the mid lane replay analysis. Hope it helped. Hope I wasn't too critical. And like, even though it might seem that I'm only focusing on the mistakes, that's kind of because I am. The whole point is for me to try to point out mistakes that like maybe you aren't thinking about or whatever, and just to try to help you guys like see where you need to make improvements. So I try to point out things that you do well, but like I'm not really looking for those because you know when you do things well. It feels good. Alright, that's it for this one. I'm gonna stop the recording.